Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. We come here every day at this time to talk to different people in our community who are doing cool things. People putting on events, people opening little businesses, or people who just want to come and talk about what's going on in the world. But we try to feature the best of the best, people way ahead of the game, people who are looking into the future and can help lead us into the future. To that end, we asked our next guest, Marshawn Govan, with MKG something, MKG Enterprises Corp. And there's so many changes in the laws and how things are getting done. A lot of stuff's happening online, new regulations. I can't keep up with them. But Marshawn's way ahead of all this, especially in raising capital for your company, right?
That's right.
Old days, you'd sell stocks, but you had to file all these things to sell stocks. It was very hard to do.
Yep.
To raise capital, or you go to some people who gouges you, borrow, pay 20% on the money or something. But there's an easier way now, isn't there?
There is an easier way. Just for example, back in the days when companies were selling their stocks, you would get a stock certificate. Those are called like warrants. Those days, can you imagine now trying to print out 1 million paper stock certificates? In this age and time now that we're evolving with technology and going digital, everything is digital. And so what we've done is we've moved everything that we're doing into the internet. And so all of our businesses, all of our processes are powered by the internet. And we got a little bit more creative. We're still behind in the Central Valley with the rest of the parts of the country, especially like San Jose, Silicon Valley. They're doing, that's where most of the startups, most of the big tech investors are coming out of. But in Fresno, I think we're struggling to be able to have some kind of a vehicle or, a company that would leverage our businesses, support our businesses to help our businesses be strong and viable with access to capital. Our company, MKG Enterprises Corp, is under the same regulations as the banks. We're held to the same standards. We actually get audited just like a banks will get audited. And so, to that degree, we know what we're doing in that aspect. But crowdfunding is something, it's not new. We're not a GoFundMe. We are not a Kickstarter, but some of those platforms that they do have, you can't just go and put every single kind of business, every kind of idea or product that you want to do on there. For us, whether you're a nonprofit or for profit, Fresno is still growing. We have 1 million residents in Fresno, over 99,000 businesses, and also over 3,000 nonprofits. The biggest difference between our platform, which we actually provide you the software, is that if you wanted to start a GoFundMe campaign, you couldn't go down to GoFundMe office and talk to nobody.
No one to talk to.
But you can come into us here in the Tower District and come and talk to the person that's going to help you crowdfund and also put your business online. And some of the benefits, that we offer, you have to go back and look at the history. How did this get started? So like I was explaining earlier, back in 2012 when Obama was the president, a lot of this stuff was so regulated and so restrictive where they went back and they said that they wanted to ease those regulations, ease those restrictions, and allow small businesses to be able to raise capital because
the average guy couldn't do it. Stock, you got all these disclosures, all these things you have to do. So the average guy just didn't get it done.
And you have to be an accredited investor, high net worth institutions. Some of those requirements, of course, in the Valley, the medium income or low income person would not meet those criterias. And so they lifted a lot of those restrictions by, especially in their Regulation D, 506C, 504, 505. Those are offerings where you will file a document saying that, hey, you're going to give notice that you're going to be raising capital for your business, and so that you're also going to provide a prospectus to your investors. And so that really allowed a lot of businesses to take off. So it's been over $1.4 trillion has been raised since that time. But Fresno, we're not capturing that market share. So what we decided to do is how we're going to, put Fresno in position. So we created Fresno Private Capital Markets because, Fresno has an economy too. It's a growing economy, and it's just not an agricultural economy. So now we're moving more and shifting to the finance of that side of this economy. But by them coming into our crowdfunding portal, we're going to help them from getting their accounting together. We also offer the accounting services, the software for them to get their books in order. We actually do a fully managed, which is the CFO services, where businesses that are too busy on the go, they won't have to worry about all that. Our back office and our team will go ahead and take care of that for you.
Wow.
Because as you're raising capital, people want to know how your business is doing. What is the financial stability of that company.
Got to keep your books up to date and have that available.
Have that available, and if you go without to a CPA without that in order, it's going to cost you a lot more money. So we're going to help you reduce that cost, and then we're actually only doing on a Regulation D. So when I went to some of the CPAs here in Fresno, they pretty much didn't have an idea of what I was talking about. So I had to go to New York. I had to go all the way across states to San Francisco or to LA to the bigger CPA firms to actually understand what I needed to be done, because they are not they are licensed as CPAs, but they're not security qualified CPAs to do the audit and give you the financial statements or the opinions on that. And some of even the lawyers. So it takes a long process. So where we're at, we are in the pre-IPO stage, but we're not going to go for an IPO. We are going for a Reg A Plus offering. And so once we get listed there, we're in the process within the next, I would say, 24 months to be on the New York Stock Exchange. So with that, we want to also get businesses to our stage where we're at as far as getting them to have investors invest into their company. But what some of the things that Trump did with his administration is they went back and revisited what Obama done, and then they came up with the Jobs and Investor Confidence Act of 2018, which is 3.0. And that's kind of widely referred to. It just significantly expands the opportunity to raise capital. It allows general solicitations by government entities. So now our city government or councils can also promote MKG enterprises, but they don't make decisions on saying, hey, I need you should go and invest in this company. They're completely neutral. So they can also help promote that, which would also bring in more revenue, more tax dollars, more jobs. And so that's the whole thing we're trying to do. This is what's going to create more job opportunities and have these businesses be more viable, to not have to rely on the banks, because the banks are not lending like they used to no more. So we have to turn to an alternative, and this is an alternative. And so you can also use entities, angel investor groups. Colleges and universities can also promote what we're doing as well. Nonprofit groups, venture groups, they can advertise and solicit persons to attend our presentations, or any other company that decides to go on our portal, presentations or events. But there is a provision in that says they cannot recommend that people invest into it, but they can kind of just open up the opportunity for people to get the word out. And so it's called the HALOS Act, which is HALOS ACE Act. Helping angels lead our startups. And so that's going to be a big significant thing. So when people are talking about the small business sector, I think we're underrepresented, especially in the Central Valley. And what we did is we took a step forward, and we actually provide the software. If you want to own the software that we have, we can also sell that to you too, but it's not going to be it's going to be at a reasonable cost. But for most businesses, if they just want to come on board and they are just a startup, I think our minimum package is $29.95 a month.
Well, we were talking before. I see this GoFundMe opportunities and stuff, but I always say, where's that money sitting? Whose pocket is it in? You said you have a unique way to handle that.
We do have a unique way when they go online. So it doesn't cost them anything to set up a campaign for us to review it. But once they launch it, they will go ahead and set up their own Stripe account, which would allow them to collect offline or online payments from investors. And it allows them to get paid directly to their bank account. It's like a PayPal account.
So it doesn't go to you, it goes to their own account.
It goes to their own. It's like PayPal. It links directly to their own bank account. So that's the unique thing about it. It's really a sophisticated system in a software. And a lot of our tech guy went back and just revamped everything and kind of got everything all nice and dialed in. So if you was to go to a software developer and have them to do something that we done on a level, it's going to cost you extremely a lot of money. And for you to have a company here in Fresno that is going to provide that for you at no charge. I mean, there is a 6% fee that we're going to add on top of whatever you raise. So if you raise $100, it's going to cost you $106. But, for you to be able to bring in that $100 and using the power of the internet, there's everything that we do, from the accounting service of it. We even help you file your forms. So if you go on our YouTube channel, we also have everything that's going to show you exactly on how to file these forms. We actually start off as a tax company. So we are a full service tax preparation company as well as an insurance company. So we provide a broad range of services for our small businesses here in the Central Valley. I think we're ahead of our time, and we're the only businesses that are out here that's doing this. We went, of course, we got to where we're at from, going to other companies and having to deal with some of the obstacles and hurdles that they required us to go through, and so it was just too much.
So you're not the future. You're in the now, but most of us are like 5 years ago.
Correct.
You're caught up. You're way ahead of the game, and so you can go figure this stuff out on your own. It only takes you 4 or 5 years to figure it out.
Exactly.
Or go to Govan, MKG, Enterprises Corp. And can they just call and ask questions?
They can actually call and ask questions. They can even book an appointment. And so, like I said, if you want to go and do a GoFundMe campaign, you can't go book an appointment to go talk to nobody at GoFundMe. So, the benefits are far, greater than doing it online and doing it yourself. And some of the challenges that we face here in Fresno, is housing. We actually are looking to, have people, support our housing and development a cause where we're looking to go out and build more housing for people to make it affordable. And so we're actually funding, affordable housing development, thus solving the homeless problem, that's solving the rising cost of the rent. If people have, looking at those concepts and those ideas. So this is just something that's not, benefiting to a company. It's actually a community, that can support, what we're doing here.
Very good. This is fascinating. I want to talk to you more about this. I want you to come back because
absolutely.
Can I say it this way? If you need to raise capital for your company has some value, or your ideas have value, or your company has some sort of equity, instead of going to a bank, which they don't really do much of these business loans anymore, I don't think.
It's almost impossible. To have a bank loan, you're looking at probably a 3-to-1 ratio so if you want to borrow $10,000, you might have to have $30,000 in the bank.
Right, and who needs $10,000 if you have $30,000? Anyway, you could try a GoFundMe, but I'm not, like you said, you can't go sit down and talk.
You can't go sit down and talk to GoFundMe.
I'm not sure how that is housed. I've looked at it a few times. I can't figure it out. I want somebody who will go figure it out for me. But you could do kind of the similar thing. People can market equity in their company, raise money.
They can raise capital. If they have a Kickstarter, if they started something on Kickstarter, they can actually transfer their Kickstarter campaign into our portal, which would allow you to continue to raise money past the stage. We're looking for more of the mature, the serious, even the startup companies to go out and to take a look at this, really take a hard look at this. And, one of the things that what separates us, if you want to go online and let's say, for example, you looked at Facebook on a security stock exchange and you typed it in, Facebook's going to show up. Okay. If you typed in MKG Enterprises Corp, we're going to show up. If you typed in our construction company, they're going to show up. So we are actually on the same pretty much open information source where our disclosures are filed with the government as well. And for you to go to another private company, I know what they're going to charge you. You're going to pay thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars where, you can pay on a month-to-month basis. And if you pretty much don't want to continue to renew, you're not obligated, you're not locked into a year contract, it's just a month-to-month. And so if you want to stick with us for 6 months, then whatever we've done for you within the 6 months, then that's where the ball stops. But if you want to go and continue on with this, we don't guarantee everyone's going to be successful. We don't guarantee you're going to raise $1 million, but you have an opportunity to raise up to $1 million in 1 year.
Okay.
Now, to me, for $29.95 a month, and I'm able to raise up $1 million, or if I want to go through the bank process, fill out the application, submit all your documents, all your tax return, there's not even a guarantee that the banks are going to get it. But from your own fan base and your customer base, and to raise money, and what's so kind of funny is we've had Fox 26 called us and wanted us to, go on their social media network because it caught their attention. So eventually, it's going to catch enough attention, enough people are going to jump on board. And hopefully it will be people within the community and within Fresno that jumps on board, because if outside Fresno jumps on board, and Fresno are sleeping on this,
Good.
Hey.
Well, I say Central Valley Talk is all about celebrating what's good about Fresno and the Valley, and this certainly is.
I mean, this is a lot to take in. It's overwhelming for me to actually understand this all, and I'm in the process of going to get my license as an advisor. It's a unique process.
Right. And I always say, I don't want to learn something somebody else has already learned. Let's let him do the learning, and he did. So thank you, Marshawn. Anything else you want our viewers to know? There's a web address, MKG Enterprises Corp -funders.com. or just call up Marshawn at 866-675-3933.
Correct. And if they have any questions, then like I said, we're available. Or if they want to go to YouTube, they can just type in MKG Enterprises Corp on YouTube. Okay. You'll see some of our crowdfunding videos. We have so many videos to help people understand. But if you want to just take advantage of an opportunity to grow your business, and right now we have a promotion, 6 months free, or at least 6 months discount. So if you want to go and buy a QuickBooks subscription, we're actually an advisor with QuickBooks. We can actually get you your QuickBooks going, and we want you to be online. You're going to pay what we pay for it and what you would pay for it to be a completely reduction in cost. Okay. If you wanted to have a zero program, right now we're offering that for 6 months for $1. So if you wanted your accountant program for and get on our crowdfunding portal, your accountant solution is going to cost you $1. You couldn't go to your CPA or to your tax guy that's going to provide you a tax software, accountant software, and do your taxes and help you raise your money. Everything that you're going to do to anybody else, you're going to have to pay them, which is going to take money out of your bottom line. But we're going to help you raise money and put money back into your company to help you grow, buy more equipment, hire more employees, invest more into technology, or if you want to even buy real estate. So you can also look at that as real estate. So we actually are helping people develop real estate. So if you had a piece of land, piece of property you want to develop, come to us and we can crowdfund that.
Very good.
So anything's possible to crowdfund on our platform. Yeah. It's just you coming to us, and we got to make sure that everything is start to finish. We can't just come out with a wild idea. Yeah. Everything goes through a process. If you're willing to go through the process, and take our advice on what we're going to give you, then definitely it's something to.
Very good.
It's nothing to lose.
Well, our guest is Marshawn Govan with MKG Enterprises Corp. -funders.com. I've known Marshawn for years and years. I didn't just because I can't say his last name doesn't mean I don't know him, and I do trust him, and he's a remarkable guy. We've watched him grow year after year after year to all these remarkable things. So congratulations on all of this.
Yeah, this has come from struggle. So all this that we've achieved and accomplished comes from struggle. It comes from those doors and dealing with other companies. They're selective. There's companies out there called like Equidate or SharePost. You can't even get on there unless you're a unicorn. I'm not talking about nothing that's mythical. Yeah, they got companies that are called unicorns, and I feel like, what is a unicorn? Yeah. That means you got to be bringing in at least over $5 million or $5 billion is what you're. $5 million. You got to be worth at least $5 million or more in order for them to even talk to you or even crowdfund you. Yeah. And a unicorn. We're not. So our market isn't the unicorn. So once again, it's not a mythical creature or god. It's talking about these big companies like Dropbox. Look how big they are. Yeah. You got to have so many users. And if you're not a unicorn, in Fresno, we don't have we have maybe a unicorn in Fresno, but we're not looking for the unicorn. We're looking for the average small business owner that goes to work, works hard, trying to, be successful and enjoy their passion and fund their dreams. But that's the reality. If you go outside of this area or go look elsewhere, if you're not on a unicorn status, you're going to find out they're not going to talk to you, or you got to come up with this huge amount of money. Yeah. Just because you're not a unicorn.
You're not there yet.
Yeah, you're not there yet. So. All
right, Marshawn Govan, MKG Enterprises Corp. .funders.com. That's a lot to write down. Just call them at 866-675-3933. If you didn't write that down, call me. I'll give you their direct number. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.